Dear friends, media all around the world shows real school killer act. And after that, we started to see parents worried about their children's safety, all of them claiming for a stronger security and so on. Once again, people try to solve the problem by attacking its effect, its consequence. They forget the only way to solve the problem is to attack its cause, its origin. This is the way we can eliminate such attitudes, by eliminating the very formation of this kind of psychopaths. I agree with the enhancement of safety, but if we don't take action to eliminate the origin of the problem, we will probably increase our security structures such a way that one day our children will have to study at home with two big guard dogs in front of the door. Remember that all child receives influences from media and from society all day long. This influence exists for long. Its shapes and technologies may change, but they have the same effect. The problem, and then, is not strictly these influences, but the absence of monitoring, parental affect, and discipline. This is what every child needs throughout its process of character formation. Everyone can be carried out to incorrect attitudes, some more than others, depending on how this absence of care has been felt by the child. But all of them can get rid of a neurotic way if they are emotionally secure and stable with good self-esteem. To achieve this, children must be observed and educated all day long by a responsible adult. This monitoring is what is missing in our society, and worse of that, families, teachers, and school leaders are fleeing out from their responsibility. They think children are emotional, behavioral, and intellectual self-sufficient. They are not. Children depend on education. They need to be observed, directed, and have their basic needs satisfied all time during each growth phase. We all know that there are no parental training in schools. Some duties, however, are simple and obvious, and parents used to forget this. To give affection, to give permanent discipline, to stimulate their creativity and monitoring their results are simple duties. To hear their children is the most difficult to a lot of parents. They should know that this is the most important part of a correct education, to hear the child. Leave the child to speak their complete phrase, don't interrupt him. Parents used to interrupt children's sentences and change the way of the conversation. They think children don't need to be heard. At school, although teachers are alerted by media, they ignore the existence of bullying, which is the major cause of low self-esteem, and consequently, the very generator element of school murderers. What we need then is to face in a serious way the real problem. And the real problem is young people inadequate education. They have been forgotten by parents and teachers. Parents, teachers, school leaders, please stop and think. We have two ways. The wrong one, try to solve the problem by its consequence, that is the security problem, and forget the education necessities. Political authorities appear they have chosen this way. This kind of action is easy to be shown by television and other media facilities, but don't solve the problem itself. The correct one, we can start a teachers and the parents responsible training program in order to teach them the basis of a correct children education to avoid neurotic formation inside our children's minds. Let us assume the responsible for everything the children do. They follow our behavior examples. We cannot transfer this responsibility. Let us stop immediately to incriminate TV programs, video games, genetic influence, and so on. If children are correctly educated, they will pass through all of these without any problem. Let us see some attitudes that we need to start immediately at home. To hear the children until the end of their sentences, trying to understand what they mean. Respond to their inquiries. Remember that all their questions are important for them. Pay attention to any changes in their behavior. Try to identify the cause. Do not rest until you find the causes to this change. Some changes show a future behavior problem. Give affection, but give discipline. A child who is a teenager receiving affection and being disciplined constructs a sense of inner security which is very difficult to suffer bad external influences. Now we can see some attitudes to be taken by school teachers. Treat all students with affection and discipline. Even in creative activities, the teacher must observe and direct them in order to stimulate their performance. This procedure will complement any parental absence at home. Be careful to observe any kind of bullying, even a very silly one as a nickname. It can bring serious consequence to the victim, especially if he closes inside himself and do not express any kind of reaction. Punishments have to be immediate and strong enough to avoid others to do the same. Please reflect on all of that. We need to transform our society, and I'm sure this is the correct way.